Welcome, everybody. Mike Martinez. Always excited to have my partner, Frank Donohue, here with a quick interview on a product he just put out there, which is a LinkedIn marketing strategy, which I'm very, very excited about. I got privy to taking a look at it, and he just did an outstanding job. For those of you that don't know who Frank Donohue is, Frank Donohue has his own podcast show called Lean Freak, and he's an expert in Six Sigma and doing processes that simplify manufacturing and any kind of process, really. So anyway, the bottom line is, Frank, glad that you're with me today, man. Thank you for stopping by. I know you're busy, but
hey, thanks, Mike. It's good to be here. It's always good to talk to you.
Yeah, listen, just to start real quick, man, I know you're a big social media guy, and your name is floating out there. You already developed one business through your social media marketing, which is Get You Home Safe. Why LinkedIn? I mean, Facebook is so popular, and I know you do excellent on Facebook. Why another social media platform?
Well, LinkedIn, I think, is the one for businesses. If you're a big company, if you're a small company, if you're a startup, whatever it is, I just think that I know that LinkedIn is the place where you're going to get customers that are if you're business to business or you're business to consumer, and this is my opinion, but I think that LinkedIn just has a better caliber of people that are there to do business. It's almost like the online marketplace, so to speak. Everybody on there has a professional profile. They're kind of showcasing what it is that they do, their title, their job description, all those things. So those people on there are expecting to network with other people that are doing business. I mean, that's the whole extent of it, as opposed to Facebook, where a lot of people who do business, that are business owners, or they have a position in a company, they don't like a lot of people. I mean, there's millions and millions of people on Facebook, but a large majority of those people don't like to conduct business on Facebook. They like to go on there and talk about their favorite TV shows, what type of music they like. They like to connect
sports.
with sports. They like to connect with old high school friends, Navy buddies, whatever. So when you start trying to promote a product or service to them, it turns them off. So, then the other demographic of people on Facebook is young kids, and they're not necessarily looking to be sold to either. They're on there, chatting back and forth with their friends and sharing info and, pictures and things of that nature. So it just doesn't seem conducive to me and in my experiences for doing a whole lot of serious business, where on LinkedIn you can really develop some good relationships and really make that connection with other people that are looking to do business. And that's why I think it's a better platform to really get out there.
Okay. Very interesting. And like I just mentioned a few minutes ago, I got to take a look at the videos that you put out there, man. I appreciate you sharing that with me. But I noticed there's 12 or 13 different videos. So what that tells me is that although both Facebook and LinkedIn are social media marketing or social media platforms, there's a different strategy. Am I correct in saying that? There's a different strategy in how you present yourself or how you do your marketing on Facebook as opposed to LinkedIn.
Yes, absolutely. And talking to a lot of different people that have experienced LinkedIn but didn't have a whole lot of success with it, or just didn't get it. There's a lot of people that I speak to that just say they don't get it. Some of the perceptions out there from people that I speak to think that LinkedIn is nothing more than a place to go and put up your information and have recruiters or headhunters try to get in contact with you for jobs. And that happens, but that's not necessarily how it is. You have to understand the dynamic of LinkedIn. LinkedIn's for everybody if you're looking to do something professionally. If you're, like I said before, if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, you're looking to find customers, then you can join groups and meet people in there that are looking for what you have to offer. If you're an employee of a company and you're looking for another job, there's a lot of different strategies for that. So there's a lot of different prongs, so to speak, in LinkedIn. So you have to understand going in what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and then use your strategy, to go down that path, so to speak. So, it's a little more complex, I think, than Facebook. So that's why there's so many videos in my training, because there's a lot of different reasons why people need to go on LinkedIn and make different connections for different purposes. So, getting involved in the groups, the one thing I love about LinkedIn too is there's, whatever it is, whatever type of business you're in, whatever type of industry you're in, there's really, really great information. There's like daily blog posts and stuff that have really good high quality content to keep you abreast with what's going on in your marketplace. So that's another pro of LinkedIn, but it's also a great place to join groups, to meet other professionals that are like-minded, and in the same industries as you. Plus, it's also a good place to find people and to make new connections. You might know somebody who knows somebody that might be a potential customer of yours. You could ask for, an introduction from that person that you're mutually connected with. It's very cool the way it's laid out. It really is, and there's a lot of power in it.
Very interesting, very interesting. Now, I'm going to put you against the wall here, man. I really want to get, and I don't mean to, put you against the wall, but I want to squeeze something good out of you. So, let's take it from the avenue, and I know that your video series works on several different facets of LinkedIn marketing, but let's take it we'll narrow it down to a job search, okay? How is LinkedIn more beneficial to me looking for a new job as opposed to me looking for a new job on Facebook? What would you say on that specifically?
Well, the one thing that comes immediately to mind is, again, a lot of people don't like to conduct business on Facebook, so it's going to be very time consuming to really make the connections, because if you're looking for a job and you find somebody that's a director in a company that you like to work for on Facebook, there's a high probability that you're going to turn that individual off if you start asking him for, to put a good word in for you or to interview you or something like that. Because, again, most people, in my experiences, are on Facebook just for pleasure and for reconnecting with friends and stuff like that. They're not looking to, get spammed about, hey, can you hire me, or any openings in your company, that type of thing. But if you find that same individual on LinkedIn, they'd be very responsive to it. So that's one reason. Another reason is you can go in and find groups and find companies that have profiles on LinkedIn that you might be interested in joining. You could also make connections with headhunters that specialize in recruiting for positions in your field that you're looking for. So there's a lot of power. I mean, everybody on LinkedIn that are making connections are looking for something, so it's more about developing mutual relationships like, hey, how can we help each other, more so than, hey, look what I have to offer, or, hey, you know what, I'm not interested in what you have to offer, that type of thing.
Right.
So there's a lot of power in as far as, like, job searching. Plus, again, like I said, there's a lot of power in making connections and then using your existing connection, developing a relationship with that person, and getting an introduction to another connection that they might be connected to, if that makes sense.
Right. I noticed, and I follow what you do a lot. So, excuse me. I noticed that when you started this Lean Freak interview channel that you have on YouTube, you started getting people from all over the world. I know you did an interview with somebody from Argentina, somebody from Canada, people from the U.S. So was that something that you got from LinkedIn?
It is. Actually, all those I got from LinkedIn. And the way that I did that was pretty simple. I mean, the hardest part about, it seems, because I talk about all these different facets or all these different prongs that LinkedIn have, if you stay on the path that you're trying to pursue, you don't have to go down all the other tentacles. So that's number one. That's the key. But the second thing is to realize that when you make these connections and you join these groups, it's time consuming. I mean, it doesn't have to take a lot of time, but you have to be persistent with it. So when you join a group, or let's just say say you're in retail. You're an assistant manager at a retail store, and you're looking to make other connections, either for another job opportunity or because whatever it is that you're trying to do. So you're going to start looking for groups in retail. And then when you join those groups, you're going to see discussions going on in them. In those discussions, there's going to be some very good conversations taking place that are, very specific to what your field is and what it is that you do, your area of expertise.
Mm-hmm.
You want to read up on those things. You want to start identifying people that look like they know what they're doing and know what they're talking about,
mm-hmm.
and you want to engage in them in some of these conversations on some of these groups. And then at that point, once you start getting into a discussion, they realize who you are. Then you might want to connect with them. You send a a connection request as opposed to a friend request that would be on Facebook, but it's the same thing. So if they see you, the cool thing too is if you send them a request to connect, what they're most likely going to do is look at your profile. When they look at your profile, you're going to get a notification that somebody viewed your profile, and they're going to tell you who it is.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm requesting this guy, John Williams, in the retail because he looks like somebody that I might want to connect with because, he might be able to get me a job or, whatever the situation is, I request him to connect. A day or two later, I might have a notification when I go back up on LinkedIn that somebody viewed your profile. If I click on that, it'll show me that it's, John Williams. So, okay, this guy's checking me out to see who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then shortly after that, more times than not, you're going to get that accepted connection. So it works pretty well. It's pretty neat.
That in and of itself is very powerful. I mean,
it's very, very powerful. And it also gives you, for the free account, and there's a couple different membership levels, but for the free account, it actually does give you a certain amount of analytics. It shows you how many people have viewed your profile in the last 7 days, how many times your name came up in a specific search. It gives you a lot of different analytics that, you wouldn't necessarily get from Facebook or Google Plus or some of the other things out there that are very helpful for you.
Very, very interesting. Well, listen, Frank, I appreciate number one. I appreciate you sharing that series, that video series. I highly recommend anybody that's out there that wants to really learn how to use LinkedIn for their marketing, either their services, for looking for a job, for just getting involved with a specific industry, learning some stuff that you really look at what Frank has put together. It's an excellent, detailed, step-by-step process on how to use LinkedIn. Very, very good, man. I was highly, highly impressed with it. Thank you very much for taking time out to do this interview with me, man. I really, really appreciate it. And listen, best of success with Lean Freak and with everything else you're doing, man. You're killing it.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.